Hey there! Welcome to another installation of The Struggle is Real. Today is our second video in the series. Last week we did the roll-up, and I will include the video, both mine and also Lesley Logan's. We are doing a collab of this series, and I will include Lesley's video in the info box below as well. And today we're going to look at rolling like a ball. And I know there are many people that struggle with rolling like a ball. Some aspect of it, either rolling not really like a ball, or hard to balance, or get stuck. And it's one of our unique characteristics of the Pilates method. We have rolling exercises. We get a nice back massage. It opens up our back, but it is a demanding exercise, and it does tell you a lot about what's going on your back. Sometimes you might find out that you roll crooked. Sometimes you might find out that you roll and you stop and you roll like a brick. And a lot of the tendencies of the body's movement kind of can show up in the rolling like a ball. So let's look at what we're talking about. And last week I shared that my roll-up was my nemesis for a long time, and that was a big struggle for me. I have always been able to roll like a ball. However, I feel like it was never as smooth at first as it has been in recent years. So I think I just was liking upside down. So that's another thing too, upside down. Sometimes if people are not used to being upside down, the thought of lifting their bottom up above themselves might be a situation that they are not familiar with. So I really liked being upside down, so the thought of lifting up my hips and rolling on my back was not that big of a deal. Not that I was great at it, but it could get done. So here we are rolling like a ball. So you may have learned that you're trying to make your ball as small as possible with your knees together and your arms crossed and tiny, tiny, tiny. And yes, that may be a goal. But it doesn't have to be for everyone, and it doesn't have to be all the time. So maybe you're a person at first, they can balance, but their hands have to be here. And they're like a little bit wiggly and precarious. And maybe they do rolling like a ball, where they just kind of get the massage thing. They're just trying to roll on something that's not clunky and wonky. Clunky and wonky. And then maybe they get better, and then they can hold their ankles. Their knees are apart, their feet are relaxed. And then you can talk about lifting the bottom so that they're kind of inverted upside down. And this balancing part is really important. When people are first learning rolling like a ball, you want to see them roll up and hold their balance so that they have control. And that they roll when they want to roll, not just because they're out of control. So, ways that you can help people to not go crooked, that's a pitfall sometimes. You may roll back, and often, sometimes people sort of get a little vigorous with their arms, and maybe one arm pulls too much, and then when they roll up, they're kind of crooked. And if they're in the habit of balancing each time, they might notice that their feet are not in the center anymore, that they're over here somewhere, and they could kind of self-correct that a little bit. And the other thing that you can help with, often we like to kind of go to our comfortable places, and not necessarily us consciously, but our bodies want to seek out the easy path so that we'll have success. And so you may find that sometimes people sit up in rolling like a ball and they're balancing, but they're kind of all up in here in their hips, and they're really not, round in their back, so that they're here and they try to roll. It has a different kind of rhythm. It's sort of like a thunk and up, or maybe just a thunk. So I would encourage you to roll more smoothly and to kind of figure out how to use your muscles to open your back and roll more smoothly. I would say be precarious, my friends. Go to a spot that you roll back to where you're not trying to roll all the way over, but you're trying to really almost tank it for yourself. So that I'm trying to kind of hold my balance, and my bottom and my stomach's trying to save me because I'm rolling to a spot that I can't really control very well. And then once they find those muscles and feel what holds them in place, if they roll from that spot, they'll be so much more smooth. And the worst case scenario is that you try to be precarious and you tip over anyway. And then you just get back up and try it again. And it'll help the people who are all up in here to find this and to find this. Because eventually this is going to turn into the teaser, to open like rocker. It's going to turn into a really deep stomach rolling exercise. So they can just start right now trying to hold themselves up and be precarious. Woo! So let me know if you have any questions, if you have other questions about rolling like a ball. Rolling like a ball is one of my favorite exercises. It turns into a wonderful athletic aerobic ending where you can roll like a ball and stand up and jump a few times as a nice finish, or even in the middle of your mat if you're feeling it. So if you'd like to see a video about that, do leave me a comment below, and I'll see you later. Bye! Okay. First, I'm just going to feel like I can stand in the springs, and that's kind of a hard thing for me to do already. If you're someone who is one side stronger, this is an exercise that kind of is good, but it will present some problems maybe. Ooh. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go front, and then back. And at first,